Welcome to Big Data Lecture Series. So myself Srikanth Yadav, Assistant Professor, Department of IT, Vignan University. So in this session we are going to see the Big Data Analytics concepts. In the previous session we have seen and we have discussed various types of digital data like structured, unstructured and semi-structured, and various sources of digital data and how to handle unstructured data. Now in this session we are going to discuss about the remaining concepts. Just have a look on the learning objectives and learning outcomes of this concept. So upon completion of this unit, the major objectives are, we are going to discuss about what is basic definition of big data, what are the major challenges of big data, and upon completion we can came to know how to understand the significance of big data in real-time applications and what are the major challenges of big data and how to handle those challenges. Now let's have a glance at the today's agenda. So in this agenda we will discuss about the characteristics of big data, evaluation of big data, definition of big data, and what are the various challenges of big data, and what is big data. That means what is the meaning of big data, what is the basic technical definition of big data, that we will discuss in detail. And next, what are the parameters that will increase the efficiency and that will decide the performance factor of big data, like volume, velocity and variety are going to be discussed in detail. And finally we will see what are the various sources of big data and what are the other characteristics. That means beyond volume, velocity, variety, what are the other characteristics that will affect the big data functionality. Now we will see the basic characteristics of big data. Now when we want to use a data in our real-time applications, or whenever you want to use data in analytical activity, data should have some prerequisite qualities. That means directly we can't use the data into analytical activities. Now what are the major characteristics of data that should have to be used in big data analytics? We will see the detailed information about each and every characteristic. The first one is composition. That means the first and foremost characteristic is the composition. The composition deals with the structure of the data. That means what is the structure of data that we are using and what are the other activities which are related to the structure of the data, we will see now. The first one is what is the source of the data. That means what is the origin of the data and where it has been generated is taken into consideration. And second one, what type of data that it is generating. That means what is the source of the data, what is type of the data that we are using for analytical activity. Now we will see this composition with a generalized example. Here we will see the first one is a source. What is the source of the data? Let us say we are generating data from a video surveillance camera. That means we are collecting data from a video surveillance camera. Now what the camera will do? The video surveillance camera will capture the video of traffic. Now the video may have vehicles information, in the sense license boards and the traffic violations, in the sense if any vehicle is moving with beyond the standard limit of speed, or if any person is doing rash driving, or if any vehicle is going with a heavy load than the recommended weight, are going to be captured, and that information will be sent to the centralized server and they will issue a challan based on the type of issue. Now in this aspect, in all cases we are generating only in the form of, the information is in the form of images and the information is getting captured and stored in the form of videos and some, if needed, audio clips may be generated. So these are the various source of information that we are generating using a video surveillance camera. Now here this is the type of the data that is generating by a video surveillance camera. That means here source of data is a video camera and source of data and type of data is either an image or a video or an audio clip. So this indicates that composition of the data. So here the source is video surveillance camera and type of data is image, video and audio. Next we will see another characteristic called condition. That means the condition deals with the state of the data. That can we use whether here state indicates whether we can use the data directly into the analytical activities or not. Can we use this data as is for analysis? That means we are having some raw information. When we are having some raw data, let us take the previous example. In the previous example, we are having some video file that has been captured by a surveillance camera. Now, can we use this video data directly in the form of analysis, or can we perform analytical activities on this video file directly? So this is the question mark here. Can we do analysis directly on the video data? If it is possible, can we do it? But in real case, it is not possible, because when we capture a real-time data, the data may be composed of, the original data may be embedded with some noisy data, some erroneous information. The noisy may be external noise, maybe erroneous information, maybe in the form of if the device is malfunctioning. That means the video surveillance camera is not working properly. So this device malfunctioning is also can be one of the reason. Now in these three cases, like capturing a noisy data, generating some erroneous data and device malfunctioning, has to be considered to use this video data directly into a analytical activity. And the second aspect is, when we want to use such data into analytical activities, whether it requires any cleansing operations or not. That means whether it requires any data cleaning or cleansing operations. Like, so in this we are having noisy. Now, is it possible to remove the noise from the video data? That means what are the techniques we can do for noise elimination? This has to be taken into consideration. Can we eliminate the noise from the data? If the data is having any missing values, how can we handle these missing values? And if the data is having any inconsistent values, how can we handle these inconsistent values? So these are the three major factors that we have to consider. That is noise elimination, missing values and inconsistent values. Now how can we handle these three issues here? So this indicates condition of the data. Condition of the data. That indicates state of the data. Whether we can use the data directly into the analytical activity. If yes, what are the directly used data? If we can't use directly, what else the data is having that we are unable to use the data in analytical activities. And if data requires any cleansing activities, how can we handle those cleansing activities are going to be discussed in the part of condition. And the third characteristic is context. That means it deals with the where has this data has been generated. This indicates what is the origin of the data. What is the origin of the data? Now let's have a look what are the various origins. In previous example we have taken video surveillance camera. So this is one of the source of data, origin of the data. Let us take, we are having some sensor data. We are using some car sensors, thermostat sensors, weather sensors, parking related IoT sensors. Which sensors may generate the data. And other sources like web logs, capturing web related log information, or event log or any system log. This is the various sources of information we are generating. And why this data was generated. That means objective. Why we are generating data. And what is our target. That means what is our target of using data which has been generated. And how sensitive is this data. Now in this third aspect we will discuss about the sensitiveness of the data. The sensitiveness of the data. Sensitiveness in the sense, while dealing with the data, while storing or processing of the data, we have to deal with the privacy preservation of the data. That means we should not violate the privacy violations of the data. Because data may be composed of some confidential information such as usernames and passwords, and data may have some cache information, that is cache information or cache memory related information, or data may have a hidden history information, that is browsing history information or log history information. Now these things has to be considered. That means in context we are talking about where the data is getting generated, why we are generating the data, and what is the sensitiveness of the data. So this deals with the characteristics of the data. Now this is the combination of all the three. So combination of context, it will become a valid data and vital data in analytical activities. Next we will see the another important factor of evaluation of the big data. That means what are the various characteristics and what are the various parameters which has helped the big data analytics in its evaluation. Now have a look on this. Now we are seeing this evaluation of big data in three categories. They are data generation and storage, and data utilization and data driven. Data generation and storage we are considering in the year starting from 1970 to 1980s, and when it comes to data utilization we are taking the period from 1980s to 1990s, and when we move to data driven we are looking into the detailed information about in the year 2002 till date. Now have a look on this. So when we are dealing about basic information, so initially we are talking about the primitive structured data. That means in 1970s and before we are storing only data in the form of a structured format. That means in the year we are talking about only structured format of data is going to be used in this primitive architecture. But when we move to 1980s to 90s, here relational databases are came into the picture. In this relational databases, data is getting stored and generated in the format of RDBMS concepts. That means relational database management system concepts have been used to store the data and to process the data, as well as we are also dealing with the complex queries or complex operations using concepts of RDBMS. That means using complex and relational activities, what we are able to understand, we are utilizing data in more effective manner. Whereas in 1970s data was generated and it has been stored and there is no much analytical activities have been performed on the data. When we move to year 2002 beyond, what we are doing, whatever data we are generating in the form of structured and unstructured and semi-structured, structured, unstructured, multimedia and semi-structured data, we are not only storing the data as well as we are utilizing the data, we are using the data for analytical activities. So here we are storing the data, we are utilizing the data, and we are using the data for analytical activities. So when we move from 1970s to 2000, the usage of the data has been changed its form. Initially we are using data only in the form of basic storage with the help of mainframes. When we move to 1980s to 1990s, we are storing data in the form of relational databases and we are using data in intensive application. That means application related databases are came into the picture. When we move to 2000 till date, we are storing the data in different formats, or we are capturing data from different locations. Next we will see the another major concept called challenges with big data. So when we want to use data in analytical activities, what are the challenges which are came into the picture? That means what are the hurdles which will came into the picture while storing the data or while doing analytical activities on the data which has been stored in a enormous amount of size. When we are storing voluminous of data, what are the hurdles will come into the picture. Now we'll see all these challenges one by one. The first one is capturing of the data. When we want to use data or when we want to store the data in big data, the first and foremost challenge is how to capture that large amount of data. That means day by day we are generating zettabytes and petabytes of data. How to capture that large amount of data, and what are the various sources or techniques are there to capture that amount of data is one of the major challenges. That means what are the techniques and tools are available to capture large amount of data. And when we come to second one is searching. How can we perform the data and how can we go for the various search related activities, and when we want to use a big data analytical activities in real time applications, whether we are having the skilled people or not, whether we are having professionally trained people or not, that is one of the major challenge here. And next one, when we capture that huge amount of data, how can we transfer that large amount of data from one location to another location? That means from one device to another device. That means what are the various transferring techniques are available to perform data analytical activities. And when we move to curation, what are the various techniques and approaches are available to find out the hidden insights of the data and to extract hidden patterns of the data, that indicates curation. And next one, what are the various storage environments or storage structures are available to store this huge amount of data? Because to store this very large amount of data and huge amount of data, traditional architectures are not able to store that huge amount of data. So when the traditional architectures are failed to store large amount of data, what are the storage approaches or techniques are there to store this voluminous of data? And next one is how can we share the data? That means what are the various data sharing techniques, shareable approaches are available to handle this large amount of data. And the last one, how we can present the data. That means what are the various visualization techniques are available to produce the results of data analytics to the end user. What are the various visualization techniques are available to present the information to the end user. And last, what are the various analytical techniques are available to perform data analytics on that large amount of data. Now these are the various challenges of big data. Now we'll see the information about each and every challenge here. The first one is the capture. That means while doing the capturing activity, how can we store this large amount of data, and when we are having very high tide of the data, how can we handle that very high tide of the data? That means when we are getting very huge amount of data is coming day by day, how to capture that large amount of data and how to handle this huge tide of the data. Those are the two activities will become the challenges in capturing of a large amount of data. And the second one is storage. What are the various storage techniques are available to store large amount of data? That means here we are using the cloud computing approaches and various virtualization techniques are going to be imposed to store this much amount of enormous data. And third challenge is curation. That means curation will deals about how data is going to be preserved, how data is going to be shared among the devices, and how to do the discovering operations on the data. So preserving, it deals with the collecting and taking care of research data, whereas sharing will reveals data is potential across domain. That means when we are collecting very huge amount of data, how to handle that huge amount of data is the major portion here. Collection and preservation, in the sense storage, is the main hurdle here. When we store that large amount of data, how can we share that large amount of data across various domains? That means from machine to machine, client to the server, user to end user. And third one is how to discover the hidden patterns of that. That means promoting the reuse and combinations of the data. That means not only we are storing the data, we want to extract the hidden patterns of the data by imposing combinations of various attributes and to find out the new patterns from the data. Now this deals with the curation. And next one is search. When we want to do this search operation, because we are having very lack of skilled professionals in real-time application, that means there is a huge demand for big data analytical professionals in real-time applications. And when we are going for analytical activities and analysis related challenge, what are the tools required to perform these analytical activities? So here in big data we are using Hadoop, Pig and Hive. There are some more new advanced tools are there in the Hadoop framework. Every tool will have its own activity and that is going to be used in the analytical activities. And what are the various transferring techniques are available and what are the visualization techniques are available to deal with the data. That means what are the business visualization techniques and needed to perform data visualization or data presentation. And finally, how the data is going to be preserved, the privacy of the data, and how we are protecting to happen privacy violations of the data. So these are the major challenges of big data. So here we are revising. The challenges are capture, curation, transfer, analysis, presentation, privacy violation, transfer and visualization. Okay, next we will see what is big data. So here we are having one traditional definition. What is big data here? Now we will see what is big data. Big data is a high volume, high velocity and high variety of information assets. Look at carefully here. Big data means high volume, high velocity, high variety information assets that demand cost effective innovation processing for enhanced insights and decision making. So the definition is having few keywords related to various real-time operations. They are: a big data is a combination of high volume, high velocity and high variety. We are collecting data in the form of voluminous, velocity and variety. After collecting data, what we are doing, we are looking into a cost-effective information forms of data processing techniques. So after storing the data, what are the various processing techniques are available which can be executed with better accuracy. And finally what we are looking for a enhanced insights of data. Those insights are going to be used for decision making. So the big data definition is composed of few keywords. And next we will see what is not a big data. So till now we have seen what is big data, now we will see what is not a big data. Simple. When the big data is a collection of large data sets that cannot be adequately processed by using traditional processing techniques. That means when we are unable to perform data processing using traditional approaches, we simply say that it is not a big data. Because traditional approaches are failed to store or to process the data in a large scale or in a large size. Big data is not only data that has become the complete subject which involves various tools, techniques and frameworks, because big data is not a single word. Big data is combination of various data analytical tools, data analytical approaches and data storage techniques and various frameworks. Next we will move to the major important concept of characteristics of big data. The first characteristic is volume. So here volume indicates scale of the data. Volume indicates scale of the data. Now have a look here. In the year 2020, we are generating 40 zettabytes of data. Here 40 zettabytes of data when we compared with 2005 to 2020. That means the size of data which we are generated from 2005 to 2020, which was increased to 300 times. That means on an average 43 trillion gigabytes of data we are getting generated, or we are generating in the year 2020. And look at here, there are 6 billion people on the globe. They are having their own cell phones or mobile phones. That means nearly 600 people are using mobile phones and cell phones. And if you look at carefully here, most companies in the US government have at least 100 terabytes of data is stored in their servers or in their organization. That means most of the companies are storing 100 terabytes of data as their information in their locations. And if you look at here, every day we are generating 2.5 quintillions of data. We are generating 2.5 quintillion bytes of data every day. It is approximately 10 to the power of 18. 2.5 into 10 to the power of 18 bytes of data we are generating approximately per day. So this indicates that how the volume of data has been increased from the year 2005 to 2020. Next we will see another characteristic as velocity. That means how the velocity, that means the speed of the data. Analysis of streaming data, that means how best and how effectively we can process the data and we can acquire the results of the data. Now have a look here. The New York Stock Exchange captures 1 terabyte of trade information during each trading session. That means in a single session, 1 terabyte of trading information is getting generated in New York Stock Exchange. If you look at carefully, by 2016, that means it is an old statistic. By 2016, 18.9 billion network connections came into the picture. That means almost all 2.5 connections per person on earth. That means every person may have 2.5 network connections. Like a person may use mobile phone or laptop or a smart TV to access the data based on their requirement. And if you look at here, modern cars are equipped with 100 sensors. That means whatever modern cars which have been manufactured, they are assembled with 100 varieties of sensors, and those sensors will generate varieties of information. So this is this picture will reveals the how fast we are able to get the data in a less time. And next one we'll see variety of the data. That means while using this big data analytics, what are the different formats of data we are getting generated and we are storing in real-time applications. This deals with the variety of the data. Now let's have a look on this. As 2011, the global size of data healthcare was approximately 150 exabytes of data. That means 161 billion gigabytes of data is alone generated in healthcare industry. Now how the healthcare industry will generate the data? By capturing sensoring data, by performing electronic health records and storing health records of the patient, and monitoring of health status of each and every person is going to be recorded. So this indicates 150 exabytes of data or 161 billion gigabytes of data we are getting from healthcare industry. If you look at here, 30 billion pieces of connections or 30 billion pieces of content is generating using Facebook in every month. That means on an average, the Facebook server is storing 30 billion pieces of information, is in the form of a comment or a share or a like or sharing a picture or sharing a video clip. So 30 billion pieces of information we are storing, Facebook is storing in every month. And if you look at here, 400 million tweets are sent per day by 200 million active users using Twitter. That means on an average 400 million tweets were generating per day. And if you look at here, 4 billion hours of YouTube video have been watched by various users on the globe per month. That means per month 4 billion hours of video have been watching on YouTube. If you look at here, 420 million wearable wireless health devices came into the picture by the year 2014. Now in 2020 the value may go up to 500 to 600 million wearable devices. That means the devices which are going to be used for fitness tracking, health tracking, diabetic tracking and various other health related issues. So this indicates that what are the variety of formats of data and what are the different formats of data we are generating in real-time applications. Now we'll see all the three characteristics in a single frame. That is begin, volume, variety and velocity. If you look at closely here, initially we started storing data in megabytes. Now it was moved to gigabytes. Now every laptop equipped with 1 terabyte of information nowadays. Now in real time we are generating petabytes of data. Now here we are having only petabytes, but you can go for, you will have a zettabytes and you may have etabytes. So this is the size of the volume which has been increased day by day. So initially we are using megabytes of information, gigabytes of information, terabytes, petabytes, and you can go for up to yottabytes of information. On other dimension, if you look at what are the varieties of data we are generating. Initially we are storing data in a tabular form, that is in two-dimensional data, and we started using database applications like RDBMS and other application related data storage environment, and we started collecting photographs and we started storing web related information. We started using audio related information, multimedia information, mobile related information, social information, all in the form of unstructured data. That means initially we are having only two-dimensional data, now we are using complete multimedia related information, social information, e-commerce related applications, mobile related applications, sensor data applications. These are the varieties of data we are storing in real-time applications. Now if you look at the other dimension, what is the processing of the data? Initially we started using batch processing. Later it was moved to periodic processing. Now we are going with real-time processing of application. That means in 1970s when we want to check the account balance, directly we have to go to the bank. Then only we came to know our bank account balance. But nowadays various options have been given to check the account balance. You can go to the ATM machine, or we can check it in mobile banking, or simply we can dial a missed call number. That number will automatically send the request to the server. We will get a message. That message will have the balance information. That means by sitting in our own location, we can get the information about our bank details. So this is the processing of the data which is happening in real-time applications. Next, what are the sources of big data? Now basically there are three sources of big data. One is internal sources, external sources, and combination of both. We will see in detail. Whereas in internal sources, what are the locations where we can generate this huge amount of data? So first one is we can use data storage option. That means we can generate data in the form of file systems. We can use database applications like SQL and NoSQL. These are the various data storage environments. We can store data in a traditional file systems, or we can use RDBMS options like SQL programming or NoSQL. These are the two database storage environments. And another internal data generation area is archives. That means when we store the data in a backup environment, or when we go for the backup of the data, when we store the scanned documents of the organization, we can store the paper archives, and we can store various documents which are used for internal circulation or internal usage of any organization. So these are the two major areas where we can get the data. They are data storage and archives. When you move to the external, what are the various sources of data we can get from external sources? They are Wikipedia. It is very popular to us. We can get weather forecasting or weather information, census data, or you may have sensor data. So in Wikipedia, we will get the information mostly in the form of textual. All global information have been stored in a single location. So these are the various external data generation sources. So here we can get the weather information. How the weather information is going to be generated? The satellites will send the images. Those images are going to be analyzed at ground station. Let us take our DRDO. They'll analyze the information and they'll give the information to the concerned department, and that information has to be circulated among the people. That means whatever predictions they have observed, that has to be circulated among the people. So this is the major sources of external data sources. And third category of sources of big data, it's a combination of both internal data and external data. Now look at here, whatever we have discussed, it's a combination of both. We can get the sensor data as an internal part of the data or as from the external sources like car sensors, traffic sensors, etc. And we can also get the data using machine log data. They are maybe application log, event log, any other activity related to log information. And another source of internal and external is social media. We can collect the data from Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and other entertainment related applications are social information sites. And next one is business apps like enterprise resource planning, ERP, customer relationship management, CRM, HR management, and Google Docs. These are the various business applications we are using to store the data and to process the data in and out in an organization. When it comes to media, we are collecting data in various formats, like we can collect data in the form of audios, videos, images, etc. That means all multimedia related data we are generating in real-time applications, and this is the one of the source of getting data. And last we will see what are the various data generating tools in the form of internal and external, that is docs. We can generate comma separated files in the form of Excel sheets, like we can generate or we can create PDF files. Excel sheets, PowerPoint presentations are the sources of big data. So these are the various sources of internal and external sources. They are sensoring data, machine log data, social media, business applications, media, and docs. So these are the various sources of big data. Next we will see the complete sources of data in a single glance. That means we are going to see all the information in a single location. Now here. So here the diagram is composed of various social information related websites and sensor information. Here we are having information from LinkedIn, Twitter, Skype information, like Windows information, WordPress information, like from Apple phones, Pinterest, Twitter information, and we are having mail information, we are getting sensor information from YouTube, Google, and Facebook. These are the various sources of internal and external sources of data where we can get huge amount of data that we are going to use for analytical activities. And what are the other characteristics of big data? So till now we have seen three major characteristics. They are volume, velocity and variety. Now in addition to these three characteristics, there are some more characteristics have been proposed by the experts. They are veracity, volatility and validity. Veracity, validity and volatility. Now we'll see this one. Now look at what is veracity, what is value and what is variability. Now veracity indicates if any misinformation or malfunctioning information or any deviating information is available, that has to be identified, that has to be removed. That means any unwanted information is placed in the storage environment, how to identify that unwanted information and how to eliminate that. So this veracity will deal about. Now value indicates what is the value of the data or what is the objective that we are going for analytical activities. That means using analytical trends and analytical activities, if we are unable to get the profits from that environment, that means simply we are missing its value. That means what is the main motto of big data analytics, whether we achieved it or not, will we deal with the parameter called value. And last one, variability, how the data is getting changed from analytical algorithm to analytical algorithm. That means when the time is getting increased, how the trends have been changed and what is the variability that is happening in that big data environment is going to be deal with the variability. So these are the three other characteristics. They are veracity, validity and volatility. Now why we want to use a big data? So here the fundamental question. Why we want to use big data? When we are having more amount of data, we require more accurate analysis. When we are having very less amount of data, we can do analysis with traditional tools. But when we are having very large amount of data, how can we get the accurate results? So this will deal with this is the next challenge here. When we are having large amount of data, how more accurate analysis are going to be performed on the data. When we are doing more accurate analysis, we should be more confident in decision making. That means the insights of this analysis are going to be used in this decision making. And finally, the greater operational efficiency, cost reduction techniques and the time took for analysis are going to be taken into consideration as a part. That means when we are having very large amount of data, we require more accurate results. When we are doing more accurate results, how to use those accurate results in decision making. When we are using the results in decision making, what are the other factors we have to consider? So in the form of efficiency, cost reduction, time reduction and optimization techniques. So this is about why we have to use big data. Now the topics discussed. Till now we have discussed the following topics: introduction to big data, characteristics of big data, evaluation of big data, definition of big data, challenges with big data, what is big data. Under what is big data, we have seen three major characteristics. They are volume, velocity and variety. And we have seen what are the various sources of big data in the form of internal, external and both. And we have seen other characteristics like value, volatility and veracity. And finally we have seen why we have to use big data in our real-time applications. Next we will see this small assessment here. By looking this question, try to fill the blanks. Big data is high volume, high velocity and high variety information assets that demand dash forms of information processing for enhanced and dash. So here we'll see this one. The first one is a cost effective, innovative, insights and decision making. Next have a look at this small quiz. Try to answer these questions. What is big data? What are the characteristics of big data? What are the three V's of big data? what are the applications of big data and what are the challenges of big data. So these are the questionnaire. So thank you for this session.